Well, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Prasad, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go along that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got nothing.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
okay,
an
he's good too.
erratic
Mikhail
detective, is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Gildarie, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. You're watching the Gildarie Freddie Kissoon show, wherever you are, which part of the world you are when you tune into this program. It's good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon. Hello there once again. Next Monday, we will have completed 20 months of this program. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing it. Thanks for everything so far the past 20 months. This evening, we do not have a guest. As you know, we normally reserve Fridays for call-in. And this evening is a calling program. But Leonard Gildarie is sick. I spoke to him today, and he picked up something terrible in the United States. He should be recuperating. How to put it? He should have his last week of being confined. So we have a co-host and somebody quite experienced and a very interesting person in his own right, and someone that has been around and is experienced enough for you to put your questions to, and he can answer them adequately, philosophically, and intellectually. Our co-host is someone whose father I knew a long, long time ago. His father was a practicing Hindu Pandit. Our co-host has been a movie actor, marketing manager with Guyana Chronicle, and is also a media practitioner. Our co-host this evening is Akash Persaud. Before I formally introduce Akash Persaud, let me give you in video form a little bit about our co-host, Akash Persaud. Now, he was a movie actor. I guess he still is, if there are offers. He starred next to the iconic Ron Robinson in a Mahadev Shivraj production of Protection Game. I'll ask our guest to give us a clip. I'll ask our operator to give us a clip of Protection Game.
If this case goes to the jury, your client may end up with 10 years. If you accept my deal, he can walk within 2 years. What you say, Mrs. Santos? Shall we shake on it?
See you in court, Mr. Bala. That was that's our co-host. And the name of that movie was Protection Game with Ron Robinson and Akash Persaud. Let's look at the media angle of Akash Persaud. Operator, Akash was the marketing manager of the Chronicle, and in that job, he did a weekly television program called Personality Profile. I happened to be the first guest on that program. Here's a clip of our interview.
My guest is an exemplary gentleman. His famous name carries a legend of achievement in academia and journalism. While he chronicles through his writing, history will remember him for his contributions. In the studio is a Guyanese icon, a legend in his league, the Guyana Chronicle's columnist, Freddie Kissoon. Freddie, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I know how modest you are, but can I simply say that it's an honor to be sitting here to do this interview with you. You have insisted that I call you Freddie.
You're making me shy by saying that anyway. Co-host, I hope he finds a regular spot here. Let's look a little bit to get to know Akash Persaud. Let's look at a few more clips of the media personality Akash Persaud. Operator?
I did see the excitement and exuberance that was shown by these kids. And this leads us into the other question I'm going to ask you, Roger. And let me share my own side of how I see things. Look, I loved cricket. I still love cricket. And I was a die-hard West Indian fan. But it's sad to say that my passion for the game is not the same, because the team that I love so much has not been doing, as you know, when I started following cricket in the 90s. Look, I'm not going to stir a controversy, but in April 2018, I wrote an article titled, and it can be found on the web, it's titled, "The Pain of a Hopeful West Indian Fan." The pain of a hopeful West Indies cricket fan. And that was when the West Indies barely made it into the 2019 World Cup. 2023, and we're not even there. Roger, what has to be changed?
Good. More of that was Roger Harper, the iconic Roger Harper. Let's continue to see Akash in action. Let's continue to look at the media angle of Akash. Here is me again.
Freddie, you know there's one thing I got to talk to you about before we close off. Cricket. Have you followed the West Indies cricket recently? What's happening with them?
I know they won the 2 one-days, but that should not give you hope.
But they won
a great,
2020s.
a great country that didn't make the World Cup.
England.
It's the West Indies. England made the World Cup.
Yeah, they made the World Cup. That's right.
A great country that didn't make the World Cup is in serious question about its existence.
But do you think then, when you look at this young team, look, they got this boy from Berbice, Gildarie Moti.
Yeah, it's a good spin.
In a 2020 game, this man bore 4 overs for 9 runs, not a 6, not a 4. 4 overs, 9 runs. And when you look at the other guy, Mario Shepherd didn't play in this last game, you look at all the batters and everybody, well, our boy is, you know, he doesn't seem to be Shimron Hetmeyer.
Yeah, he's very inconsistent.
yeah. But when you look at the makeup of this team, do you believe that this is the team? Because it's a young team, do you believe?
No, I don't. I don't.
You think it's the team for the future?
No, I think West Indies cricket has very deep fundamental structural problems. That was from a program called Guyana in Conversation, in which Akash interviewed me in the Botanic Gardens. We have 3 more clips, and then we open the mic, and please put your questions to me or Akash and speak about anything that's on your mind. There's a lot that's going on. I don't understand why the Guyanese is almost 1 million Guyanese outside, and I'd like for them to call in and tell us about their feelings about what's happening in Gaza. Almost 24,000 people killed there, the majority women and children. Here is more of our co-host, Akash Persaud, and we're featuring him because he will be featured quite often as the weeks and months go on this program. Sorry, but Gildarie is sick. I think Gildarie has a week more to recuperate. Here is more of Akash Persaud and the media angle of our co-host this evening.
Look, today, Freddie, we're going to discuss a number of things, a number of issues, as I mentioned in the beginning. And these things affects not just Guyanese, but it affects
tourists as well as people coming into this country to do business. And let's start with the petty crimes. In fact, Guyana is listed as a country of risk by many foreign countries, and I did a research before we do all this. And by no means are we trying to hurt Guyana. On the contrary, we want to help by speaking about it, accepting that it is a big problem and not just sweep it under the carpet. It's time we accept that there is a major problem in Guyana, and while we are developing country, we must immediately start finding solutions and implement those solutions now. It's a time that Guyanese says stop to petty crimes, pickpockets and robberies and all these things that we're hearing out there. Guyana has a crime problem. Yes, we have a crime problem. We have to admit that we have a crime problem, because in order to fix something, you must admit that there is a problem. And the solution means that every Guyanese must be part of the solution. We all have to be our brothers' keepers and look out for each other. Freddie, I want to ask you, there are so many petty crimes happening around this entire country. You know, stick-ups, people get them breaking into cars, home break-ins, choke and robbing, and sometimes in a very violent manner. Why is it that Guyana, as a developing nation, cannot grapple with this situation and get it under control?
That was an interview with Akash on a series of programs called Guyana in Conversation, sponsored by Guy by TV or Guy by Television. Akash was the marketing manager for the Guyana Chronicle, and he did a series of television interviews for the Chronicle. Here is another clip from his role as Chronicle interviewer.
In the 80s, I can't help but think the transportation to get to and from Cornelia Ida to the airport at Timeri, it must have been difficult. What was that like? Because there weren't minibuses back then, and what time you had to reach to work, what time do you get off? How was that working out?
The person you were watching doing all of those interviews is Akash Persaud. He is the co-host this evening because Leonard Gildarie is sick. I think we need to wish Gildarie the very best. I think he said to me this afternoon, he thinks he has a week more and he should be all right. Of course, the show has to go on. Tell us what's on your mind. You have seen some clips of our co-host, Akash Persaud. He's quite experienced, been with the Chronicle for a very long time, then did a series of interviews with the Chronicle, and has his own company, and interviewed me 3 times for a series of interviews called Guyana in Conversation. I particularly liked his interview with Roger Harper. I think you should search YouTube and look for that interview. Roger Harper did say some very interesting things. Now, we'll wait for your call. It's on the screen. The landline is 231-2882. The WhatsApp number is 652-1314. Call and let's hear what you have to say. Call about anything under the sun, anything under the moon, and of course, there are 2 warnings. Don't get us into libel, and your calls have to be acceptable without being abusive or use of unsavory language. But this is an introduction to our co-host, Akash Persaud. Please feel free to ask him any question based on the clips you have seen. He starred in the movie with the iconic Ron Robinson, Protection Game. That was a Mahadev Shivraj production. I think you know Mahadev Shivraj. Let's take this call. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. So I speak to Freddie.
Yeah. Our co-host is an experienced media practitioner.
Good evening,
Akash Persaud.
Yeah, but I'm speaking. I see. You had a program on Wednesday, and you had a guy by the name of Darren Wade.
Yeah, the attorney at law. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony thought Darren Wade, and Darren Wade, like he have to read and learn more because he was rapping with Mr. Agwandian. But the guy here, so he's strong-headed. But he has to learn a lot more. He talking about the roads and jumping on the road and bop, and this, but I want to tell Mr. Darren Wade that black people culture is Georgianite. And he must accept that and know that. Why you believe all these when they reach all these Dutch tomb, they just put a fence around them and they don't interfere with them. He have to read, he have to learn more. All what he doing. And Ibambe, I know what who Ibambe is him. Barajagio, the man for the Caribbean. This is the type of ignorance I don't like to hear. All right, that's my take.
Okay, thanks for coming through.
Let me respond to that. Freddie, I want to respond to this caller. Darren Wade is a young attorney. A young attorney.
Okay,
we'll take another call in a minute. But I don't like the fact. And you'd agree with me. We don't want to label black people as everybody as one, because look, I grew up in a community with I grew up in a house actually with black people. And I can tell you that there were people living in that home who played cricket at a very high level, who worked at who were university students and all that. They were struggling, but I saw different sides of them. So it's not about blaming people. You have another call coming in here, Mister. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening, sir. Hello, good evening. You're on to the Gildarie Freddie Kissoon show.
Gentlemen, Uncle Freddie, a couple weeks ago, I asked Carl and tell me about how we got to get the catchment for in the settlement, and I don't know, I get no word from the people, I don't know yet,
Oh, that's about your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, I know Gildarie knows the minister, but I'm sorry that happened when Gildarie took ill. Gildarie went in December to the United States and came back with something, either a variant of COVID, either the flu, either dengue fever. But he is resting up. I suggest he take some time. So as soon as Gildarie come back, we'll look into that. That's Gildarie thing. He knows the minister. And Gildarie knows he has to.
We took your number anyway, so let's see what we'll do.
Good, thanks.
Okay. Yeah,
okay, bye-bye.
Good evening, sir. You're on to the Gildarie Freddie Kissoon show.
Hi, guys. Good night. Good night, sir.
You have to lower your volume,
I
sir.
hope that Gildarie recover very soon.
So you have to lower your volume.
No, it's okay. You got it. No, go ahead.
Is that okay now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it's that time of the year again, budget time. Right? This is something that we see constantly, whether the PPP government or the APNO government. Whenever the budget is presented, it has to be debated. But we all know, once you have the PPP as majority or you have the APNO as majority, the budget is going to pass. No matter how the custom one another in parliament, the budget will be passed once you have a majority government in parliament. Now, do you know the expense it costs the taxpayers to bring out these people to give the contribute, these MPs and the various representatives for various regions, the expense that it costs the Guyanese taxpayers to bring these people from different regions to accommodate them, the parliament bill of food. And at the end of the day, the budget will pass. Right? Mm-hmm. So no matter how much they cost down in parliament, we the Guyanese people, we have the internet. We all know what the APNO did. We all know what the PPP did. So come into the parliament and keep telling me the same thing over and over and over, it doesn't make any sense. Pass the budget, go on with the people business in the country. Just you have the debate right now. Then you're gonna have the estimate coming up. I think the estimate runs for 2 weeks.
No, they're finished. They're finished. They're finished.
No. This is what they finish here. This is the debate they finish.
Yeah,
they have to go through the estimate.
Yeah, the debate is finished.
But you'd also
the
agree.
debate will finish, I think, today, right? The estimate will have to go on about approximately 2 weeks.
No, the estimate is 1 week next week.
Okay, probably, yes, good. Secondly, when you're a parliamentarian, both sides, on PPP or in the up, you're being paid by taxpayers to conduct your duty there, to represent your people of the country. Whether the opposition or the government don't want to hear somebody speak, they walk out of the parliament. They've been paid to sit there. They're supposed to be sitting there. You collecting a fat salary because you don't want to hear the other speaker speak. You walk out of parliament. But you've been paid at a fat salary, whether the government or the opposition. And I think this thing should be whenever whoever walked out, whoever absent from the parliament, they should be cut off a salary. Because they've been paid to do that. Thank you very much. I hope Gildarie can get well soon.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Very good points. But I think but I think by law, Freddie, you have to go through the processes of a debate and all of that
Well, I think he's probably just being emotional.
I know.
Guyana is a small country. Mm-hmm. Imagine the United States. Imagine India, where you have to bring those parliamentarians. The parliament is in Delhi. You have to bring parliamentarians from all over India, one of the largest countries of the world.
But I also understand his emotions because
you have to bring senators. The United States has 50 states, and when the Senate is in session, you have to pay for those senators to come into Washington to debate. So he's just been emotional.
While we're waiting on the next call, I want to ask you something, Freddie. What do you think about the heckling in Parliament? I mean, it seems to be an English thing when you listen to the English.
No. It's not as bad in the UK as it is here.
Yeah.
What can any person say? It should stop. It should stop. I don't think anybody in Guyana will approve of that. I mean,
sometimes it's annoying.
Sit down and listen to people when they're done. They're done. But I mean, it happens on both sides, and
it's a parliamentary culture.
It has become a culture. It has to be. It has become a habit. I can't understand why. I think all of them feel kind of nice thing to do. Look, tell you talking nonsense, tell you talking nonsense. So like it's irresistible. But for the world watching at it, it's not. It kind of grates your nerves. I mean.
Just want to remind viewers that the numbers to call are 231-2982, and you can call on WhatsApp on 652-1314 also. Freddie, have you been following the cricket?
Yeah, but just let me tell it is a call.
Yeah. Hello, good evening.
Please tune on.
Turn on your volume.
Turn the volume. We're hearing ourselves.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Freddie, two things I want to raise. The guest tonight, Darrell Wade, the young lawyer and everything. This dude is a true reflection of what the end is. They become very irrelevant and they make very grand statements, and they have nothing to support it. When you press to support it, they keep talking crazy in front of the town. Yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, you're on the air.
Yeah, so I don't think they really do good to stop in terms of having things like that. Yes, because they don't benefit from anything that they see. Because they don't support it. The other thing with the parliament and the debate, You have to go through the process of debate, go through the estimates and everything. That's a formality. That's how it works. But I'm wondering if the formality added to drunkenness.
Go on, sir.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that adds to it because some parliamentarians look socially intoxicated. Do you guys know if that's true? Because she looks like that.
Well, you don't have to rub it in when people make those kinds of mistakes. You have to
rub it in, Freddie.
No, you don't. No, you don't have to do that. You have to. Look, I think
the highest office, they're parliamentarians. You have a fiduciary duty to the public and the electorate.
But she must. Yeah, but she's a mother. She's a mother, and
but she should have known that.
She's probably embarrassed.
She should have known that. Yeah. That's the point. You have to have morals when you hold public office. You can't do stupid things and then ask for forgiveness as if, like they're making statements that they're misogynistic and all these crazy things. You cannot do that when you hold public office. You have to have decorum, you have to have morals, you have a responsibility.
Well, we humans should always tend to, be sympathetic with people who...
I know you would have heard the thing before. This is Guyana. You just give me a reminder as excuse.
Anyway, okay.
Take care.
Thanks, bye. If you're looking at us, Gildarie is not here. Gildarie, as we announced so many times, went to visit his family in the US, and he said he picked up something, and he don't think it's a variant of COVID. He did the test today, and it wasn't not a variant of COVID. So they suspect dengue or some other thing. But let's take this call.
Hey, good evening.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, good evening.
Again.
Yeah.
I heard Freddie said just now you cannot rub it in. Let me say one thing, Freddie. Right? That MP doesn't just hold an MP position. I think she's a magistrate also.
She was.
Yeah.
Was? Okay, so my apologies.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are holding one of the highest esteemed office or position, sorry. There is no such thing as forgiveness or ask for forgiveness. When you take the job, you know what it comes with. I am a carpenter. Do you think I could turn up at my job? I don't think I should use that word piss syndrome. And my boss would allow that? These people, taxpayers, are paying them. Do you think, Freddie, if you used to write for the kite tour, if you had to turn up to the kite tour building, could have you go there drunk? No. Could this other esteemed gentleman could have turned up on this radio program drunk? So please, don't tell us that you have to rub it in. She needs to be disciplined. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening, sir. Mr. Kissoon?
Yes, sir. I'm here with another media personality, Akash Persaud. If you tune in earlier, we showed you a little bit about his media activities, and he once acted in movies.
Movies? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a little contribution to make. This thing is on my mind since 2020, and I would really like you, Mr. Kissoon, to think about this when I finish, like, tonight.
Yeah, I will think about it. I'll think about everything people say. It's my duty on the program.
All right, here what it is. In 2020 election, I think, and I will give you some evidence, sort of. The APNU rigged that election by about 20,000 votes. Not realizing 20,000 wouldn't have been enough to get them over the line. Because if you check track records and some of the stuff that you yourself, Mr. Kissoon, will be writing about, like, for example, 2018, the LGE election, local government, you yourself said more than once AFC was dead meat. They couldn't even score one of the constituents, or what you call it. Good. They haven't taken that into consideration. They are dead meat. In the history of Guyana's election, national election, PNC have never gotten past 43%. How did they reach right on to how much? 48 something? 47% or whatever. So what I'm saying is, AFC had given them that extra few percent, 7% or whatever, in order for them to win the 2015 election. AFC is dead meat in 2020. So that 7% gone back over. APNU go back to 42, 43%. Where did they get that to reach 47% as they had gotten in the 2020 election? They rigged 20,000 votes thinking that would have been enough, 3 seats, to make them win. But PPP showed where they had they won by what, 6, 7 seats already in elections prior. So I would like you, Mr. Kissoon, to think and study about that a lot and analyze it.
Okay, thanks for coming through.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye-bye. So the lines are open. You can see on the screen. Our WhatsApp number is 652-1314. So wherever you are, call on the WhatsApp number and speak to the former marketing manager of Chronicle and a media personality in his own right. If you missed the opening segment of the program, you can get it back and you will see a little bit about Akash Persaud and what his activities are. And don't forget, he starred with Ron Robinson in the Mahadio Shivraj production of Protection Game. Mahadio Shivraj has established himself as one of Guyana's leading filmmaker. I think his last program was what Brown Sugar?
Brown Sugar, Too Bitter for Me Part 2, yeah.
Good evening.
Hi, Freddie. Good evening. Akash, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
This is Miss Tiger. I know the name.
Oh, yes, from West Bank?
Yeah, we used to work both years ago.
That's right, yeah.
Anyway, Freddie, my contribution tonight is this. This are the calling more than one time concerning this topic. With this mortgage relief, whatever the government got from GRA thing. Now, I finally get a letter from GRA after 8 months saying that I'm not qualified for this mortgage relief. And the explanation was this here. I got a small business whereby we manufacture spices, black pepper, masala, ginger, them kind of thing. So they are saying I'm not qualified for this mortgage relief because I got a business on the premises. Now, for me, it doesn't make no sense. So I think you need to get somebody from GRA pertaining to this mortgage relief and let it just explain the sense in though.
Because you're doing a little business in your building, you
right,
that's your source of income.
That's right.
Exactly. The mortgage interest rebate. I've heard a lot of people when I applied for it in the first time. It took me almost a year to get it anyway, or more.
Right.
And but I think that what you need to do, did you explain to them that this is your sole source of income?
Yes, you called the last time. You called them.
Okay.
They got all the information. They come and inspect the building and everything.
Freddie, you need to get somebody.
I know. You think you know how people operate? I mean, well, I understand the logic there, but regulations are not made in stone.
I know.
If it's where he lives,
I mean, this doesn't encourage people. It doesn't encourage homeowners to start doing, like you said, doing your business.
My daily column in the Chronicle for Wednesday and Thursday was how ordinary people are mistreated by the banks in this country. And I spoke about my experience at the bank on Wednesday. And then I wrote again about it on Thursday. The banks just hassle ordinary people. the carpenters, the teachers, the soldiers, the policemen, the vendors. They just, a vendor has 50,000 in his bank book. It becomes dormant. You have to fill up a whole set of forms in keeping with money laundering. A man got 50,000 in his account, and he's laundering money.
He would tell you now when you get this letter, right? That if you're satisfied, you could write them a letter. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
But write them a letter, get somebody to write a nice letter for
I'm
them.
going to write them a letter, but I know, right, for the fact they don't make a decision, a letter wouldn't make no sense. But
no, if they tell you to...
And I'm objective.
No, if they tell you to appeal, appeal. If they tell you to appeal. You know the saying. So you know the saying, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
Right, the letter.
You know, make a case in your letter.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah. Freddie?
I have come to the conclusion in this country that, you know,
almost all the interviews that you've done, a couple of things has always been coming up, except the one we did personality profile. We talk about your personal life and all that. But almost all the interviews that you've done, Freddie, Gildarie always seems to be coming up on the radar, and it's because of the same thing we say with the bank. You know, you cannot get things done easily. I see that the government is pushing towards the ID card.
the ID.
Yeah, let's hope that will help in some ways. Freddie, what
the unfortunate thing about Guyana, the unfortunate thing about the poor classes is that they don't have civil society representation. Now you take a small country like Barbados. Now, Akash, when the phone rings, we'll answer.
Yeah.
Akash, listen. You have people well-to-do. I could just alter my name, Christopher Lam. Mm-hmm. Those people like those two Vera sisters, Danuta Radzik Vera and Vanda Radzik Vera. You have this lady from Canada who writes in the star book, Alicia Trotson. You look at how those people operate. You look at what they write on. They harass the government about eggs on contract. Those people have absolutely no concern about what's happening now. Christopher Lam is a financial guy. Christopher Lam has a series, 100, I think part 112 or something like that. And Christopher Lam has never written a letter in the papers about how the bank do not understand the Anti-Money Laundering Act and how they misapply it to ordinary people, including me.
Yeah.
The things they ask you for anyway.
Hello, good evening.
Friday nights for callers. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Mr. Freddie. What are you doing about garbage burning in this country?
You have to talk to when that happened, call the EPA.
You got a school by where I live.
Yeah.
If it's not bothering the kids, right? Why do they? If it's not bothering anybody, why don't they do it during the classes when school is there?
I don't understand you. Who's burning garbage near the school?
The school has a garbage bin that they burn garbage. All the school has it.
Where is the school?
It's in Albion.
And you live next.
I live next to it. Now, there's no school tomorrow and Sunday.
What's it? The people listen to this program, so call the name of the school.
It's Albion Nursery.
Albion Nursery, and they burn garbage.
Yes, right now it's still burning, and there will be no school tomorrow, no school Sunday. So if it's affecting the kid, don't you think it's affecting the people that live around the area?
Yes, of course. If they burn garbage and they're burning it in the weekends because did they burn it today?
It's still burning there.
Is it a daily this happens?
Huh?
This happen on a daily basis?
No, but they can't burn garbage daily.
Daily basis.
Well, so what, hold on.
But they could be born in.
What could a nursery school be burning every day? That doesn't make sense, sir.
I have no idea, sir, but it's been burning from since 2 o'clock this afternoon.
No.
And there was a guy there.
No, Akash asked you if they burn garbage every day, and you said yes.
Not every day.
But how often?
Once or twice a week.
What is there to they don't collect garbage in Albion?
Yes, them do every Thursday. So I don't know why the NDC or they don't ask the NDC to pick the trash up.
But have you
Usually on a Wednesday they get stuff from Ministry of Health, like comes in boxes with plastic wraps and stuff.
And they okay, but why don't you have a look? I know when you say these things, people say them when they don't listen. But why don't you go to the NDC and tell the NDC?
I complain to the NDC. But
I know.
But have you spoken to the head teacher right across at the school and explained to them also that this thing is an issue?
I spoke to them several times about it already. And there was a guy from Public Works today from Region 6, and I stopped and I told him about it. And he said he's going to talk to them, but the garbage is still burning there.
All right, it's Akash.
Yeah, I'm going to make a note of it.
It's Albion Nursery School.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a name for the headmistress?
No,
don't say it on air. Don't say it on air.
No. We she's not responsible. Anyway, thanks for coming through, so we look into it.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye. Akash?
This is an overseas call. Oh, guy. To the person who was calling just now, sorry I missed your call. I think it's a 718 number. Shahid, you can call back, please? I'm sorry.
Hello?
Good night, Mr. Freddie.
Yeah,
good evening.
Good night, Akash.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Freddie, I just want to highlight something if anybody relevant to start with. I'm living in Austin since 2014. Now it's 2024, right? And up to now, the guy in water works can't get his water system started out. And he got to pump up water like 5 times every week. There's like 20 times a month.
So story of Guyana.
And I live in a flat house on the ground. I can't get water in the toilet in the night. I can't get water to wash wheels. I call in Jeep. I went to water work last week. They tell me what. There's the same story here for the past 9 years going into 10 years up to now. They can't start out this.
That is completely unacceptable in the 21st century and unacceptable in one of the...
If I should get some guests in my house and I don't have a water tank in here and I can't pump water, the whole house...
Akash, where is this? Hostelling?
Yeah, Thornbury, I keep calling,
Give us a...
They tell me, I call everybody, nobody doing nothing, I call water works and they're telling me some pipe they're running and pipe they're running. I hear them for the past 10 years. And opposite me now, we have a young professional scheme, we call it. And water going upstairs in the people's house, and no water pump they ain't use or nothing, the pressure full there. So I can't understand really
that's the problem. The small person gets left out.
Yeah, the water pump water 5 times at least a week. And the tank take about 2.5 to full. That's like 20 times a month. Automatically my light bill gone up right away, right? And I feel in the squeeze because I got pump
so
water.
the young professional scheme getting water.
Yeah, full pressure, and I can't get water over there. Say a different line. This line here.
Before you came on the line, I was telling Akash, the poorer folks, the low-income folks are always at a disadvantage. I remember I was about 18 years when I went to Christmas Eve at the Astor Cinema to see the movie Jesus Christ Superstar. And I always remember something Mary Magdalene said to Jesus. And Jesus said, what can we do for the poor? They will be poor always, pathetically struggling. Look at the good things you've got. I remember those lines exactly. I am too old now. I've spent my whole life fighting for the poor and powerless. I've got old now and time for me to spend time with my wife and my pets.
This is ridiculous, man.
It is.
So it's 2024. I live in here, and if I turn on the tank on the top of the roof, no water in the house on the pipe, no water.
So this is in a new scheme?
Flush the toilet, nothing.
The new scheme of Horsell? Horsell new scheme?
Yeah, the third
we got a
bridge.
call there.
All right. We'll try to follow it up. We'll take another call.
We got a new scheme and you could check it out if you want.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Thanks for coming through, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, good evening.
You have to lower your volume, sir.
Lower the volume on the device you're watching us on. Yeah, lower the volume on the device you're watching on. It's giving a feedback.
Lower the volume on the device you're watching us on.
Lower the Look, we got to take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. I'd like to get you guys' take on the police service to the citizens in this country. What is your take on it?
What is the take on that? You know, if we give you our take on that, this program goes up to 10 o'clock.
No, just
and it's no. That's a question that every open mic gets from people. How are we going to answer that question? You know what that question is. Everyone wants to know what you think about what the police is doing. We can't answer that because it's going to. I know if I answer it, it's going to take up a lot of time. I see what the police do every day.
But my take is, sir. My thing is, sir. Is, I know we're looking at there are so many problems. But perhaps we could start looking at solutions. Perhaps we could start saying, well, you know what I think will help. And because look, there are so many, as Freddie is saying, that there are so many problems affecting the way the police operate, or with the way the police operate, that we will go on forever, perhaps a whole week.
You guys to just give me a couple of minutes. There are some things I want to bring to light.
Sure.
Yeah. You have about 2 minutes, right? Yeah. 2 minutes.
Back and forth twice. I have migrated about 13 years plus from Bermuda. When I told people I'm covering migrating back to Guyana, people said I'm crazy. I came back. The police, I have been robbed. I have been victimized by the police force.
Stay on the line.
I remigrated back out to Guyana. I decided to came back just about 6 months now. As of 2 mornings back, my house was breaking into. I was chopped across my head, bleeding profusely.
Wow.
I had to fight 2 bandits out of my house.
Where is this?
Where is this, man?
Mr. Kissoon, you know exactly where this is, and because your friend lives about 100 yards from me.
Where is this, sir? Where is
right?
this?
You know, Block 8 Monrepo?
I don't know Block 8 Monrepo.
There's one at the back.
You're right in Agriculture Road. You come in Agriculture Road over the line. Block 8 is just before in Guyana School of Agriculture. It's a housing scheme by the government on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I know that. Right, I know that.
Okay. Now, I've had a lot of dealings with the BV police station. And I came up on the 26th of October from Barbados, migrating back out of Barbados to Guyana. And I paid a gentleman $800 million for an AC unit, right? And this gentleman was recommended by me by a gentleman who I sold a 3-story building right through the street here where I live. And the funny thing about it, the gentleman took my money and never showed up back with this unit. I made several complaints to the BV station. I went to Coven John to see the commander. I was transferred to the crime chief there, Mr. Adams. I got put on to a lot of police officers, right? Nothing. Nobody never looked into this matter. All I keep getting is, oh, we're looking into it. We're looking into it. I have given descriptive details to the police. Now, if a gentleman recommends somebody and said he knows this gentleman, this person selling AC units, come to me. And I'm telling the police, well, obviously the person who recommend him have to know him. When the police made contact, this is what the police told me. The gentleman claims that he doesn't know this individual, which is bullshit.
But wait a minute, though. But why you didn't go to an established firm and buy your AC? Why you buy your AC from a man? Why you buy your AC from a man selling AC?
Listening here, because listen, you see, you are trying to come up with a solution or alternative. At this time when I came here, this is somebody I know.
Yeah.
I sold a building to this gentleman.
I saw him putting on some brand new units, and I asked him if he knows anybody, because I see him putting on, new units on his building, and he recommended this individual. I didn't do anything wrong there. I didn't have to second guess that this is a gentleman who I sold a building to. Now, if he is recommending somebody, and that person came and ripped me off, and I give that information to the police, and then the police is telling me that when they contact that individual, he's claiming he has no idea of that person, he never met that person before. You don't think there's something wrong there?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's one point. Now, that gentleman came in my house, examined my house, and a lot of people don't come in my house. That is the only gentleman for the past while that I can recall came in this house and did an extensive survey. It's funny that I was being brutalized, couple mornings ago in my home. I almost lost my life, right? And the police never acted on my previous complaints. Now it's funny that this now is coming back to haunt me. So there's a reason why I ask you guys what you take on the police. Now the thing is that I'm a guy who, and when I was telling people and I was saying to Guyanese that look, I don't have any faith in this country anymore and I'm leaving again. People say, oh, you're gonna leave a place that is now booming economically. But I tell you what, I tried to give it a second chance, right? Came back. And I'm not the only person, There's a lot of people with money, a lot of people with connections to this country leave and cannot put this country behind them. They're sentimentally, they're tied to it. They come back. And this is how we've been treated. The work that I did in this country, I have a customized woodworking shop. The money that I worked for here was crap. And the people, the circumstances you had to work under to achieve a living was crap. I went to Barbados for a couple of years. And it's a way different and a more professional place to live. But it's just because sentimentally I'm attached to this damn place.
All right, sir. So
the thing is that
you have our sympathy.
I don't think, you see, you guys, you want people to call in, but when people are expressing...
No.
No, but sir, hold a minute there. We want to give everybody a chance. There has to all calling programs have time limit.
No,
so you've been going for 3 minutes now. So
get the full point out to you.
So there is a time frame, and you have to explain your complaints within time. Look. The WhatsApp phone is going on.
I totally understand what you're saying. I as Freddie said, my sympathy too. I mean, I can feel it for you.
We sympathize with you, but
as I was saying,
what is the purpose of this show? What is the aim of this show?
Look, that's some people so unreasonable. What the purpose of this show is for him to talk for 6-7 minutes while people have to call in. I mean. Good evening.
Hi. Very good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
I got about 2 or 3 quick concerns that you could look at. First thing first, we had a budget that was issued to the nation, and we have an eyesore in our nation, the capital city, that needs modernization or the law needs to address urgent because of where Guyana has been heading, and that's in Jubilee Park or the race course or Coffee Monument. For a number of years, that particular section there is being the way it is right now. It needs some modification. That's not a part of a Guyanese ground that we can use, utilize, modernize, get it going. There's one. 2. These accidents that's happening, is it legal in this country still to have accidents? I mean, this might be a stupid question. But who's responsible?
fight and give somebody else a chance. That see if they can, solve this issue. The road that we're walking on, I'm telling you, it becomes dangerous to us. It becomes dangerous to the citizenry of this country to walk on the road with a child or just go simply to the market, just go simply somewhere. Look how these reckless drivers going on. Let's do one more other thing, and I go on the way. Now, this is a beautiful country. Guyana is a beautiful country. This where everybody says, where we say. Now, you got something selling pertaining to Guyana. And we overlook it many times. Who is the person responsible for these flags that is selling, that said that this is Guyana flag? Look at the colors that these people use and say this is the national flag for Guyana. I'm calling upon the authorities, just the authorities of this country, this beautiful country of ours. We got the Republic coming up. We can use these same flags to fly that is not the colors of the of our flag. Look at what's going on. We gotta be serious about our national flag.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, symbol.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's a symbol of
I
national.
understand. Take care until next week. Bye. Maybe we should call. There's a person trying to get you all the time. Maybe we could call that number.
You're gonna call back.
I see that person is calling all the time. I mean, we owe it to them.
There's so many calls. Guys, you can call back. We're trying to take every.
There's a person who's been trying to call all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe we could call the number. Maybe that number showing up all the time. That person's trying to get through. Hello? Hello?
Hey, good night.
Good evening.
This is Freddie Kissoon show.
Yeah?
Okay, my name is Imran Zakali from Skellim. Hello?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Go ahead.
Yes. I got something to say, man, which is bothering me very bad. And I got things to say about traffic and the police and things.
Yeah, make sure you stick within the 2.5 minutes time limit.
Yes, because what I want to say and what contribution I want to make, so the corruption is so much within the police, and so much of bribery with this police, and the police is such a you hearing me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead, we're hearing you.
And so much of corruption with this policeman. This police is a problem in this country. Let me just say, I'm not saying all, I would say 80%. Because these are the people who know the job they have to do. And these are the people, we see all these accidents what happen, majority of police cars and kind of things. Because when these people speed, they take money on these people. They make sure to take money and let all these people to go. So they don't care. All they care about money. They don't look after people. Whether the president, the government, they don't look after nobody. Police is all about the money. If you see the amount of corruption at the police station, and I'm telling you, this is facts I'm telling you. I got a friend, a painter by. I'll tell you what they're doing. The whole is buy up. Motorbike. A policewoman. Hold up this by motorbike with the provisional expire. For 2 weeks, how you can hold a man motorbike, hold a man professional, and send
She
him
can't do that. She can't do that.
Yeah.
come back?
That is illegal. Look, before you go on, we have called in about, it seemed to me that the police is out of control in Bobby. So, of course, they're the other side of the story. But something has to be done because we've been getting on these call-in program some terrible descriptions of police indiscretion.
I am telling you.
Something has to be done.
I'm telling you facts. And to hold this by up, and after 2 weeks you hold up this by motorbike, I hold him out professional for expire. How you can hold him out professional, hold his bike up for 2 weeks?
No, you have to charge him. Look, we gotta go. Let's take this call, sir.
I'll take this.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Can you turn on the
Please turn down your volume, sir. You've been trying a long time to get through. You're on to us now. Turn on your volume. Hello?
Hi, good night, Mr. Freddie.
Good night, good night.
I'm calling about Green Hope Police Station.
Yeah.
There's a lot of private cars with dark things working at the
Private cars?
Private car. And the police does nothing. And these guys are burning too, smoking. The police is right there doing anything about this thing. And the police is here, is not helping. You complain and they're not doing anything. And just turning them back against this thing.
I think one of the things, one of the policy making direction that the government should employ is not to have. Logistically, it may not be possible, but I think one of the solutions to eradicate police corruption is to have a quick rotation of officers in all serving districts. You see, when you have private cars in Vredenhoop drinking, and after 3 weeks or a month or 6 weeks, the policemen of Vredenhoop come to know them, and that's what. Look, I was born on the Georgetown seawall, and I could tell you what goes on in the Georgetown seawall. You cannot drive a car from Ivleary to the roundabout, or what you call the pump station, any night on the seawall. People are drinking there, they park in the middle, and the police patrol know those people.
Exactly.
So what if you have a police inspector in Village A, and that police inspector in Village A is in charge of Village A for 2 years, he come to know the people in that area. So when somebody coming through the village with a truckload of illegal bales, he knows the guy. One of the things I think my solution is that you rotate these people all the time. Like, people get complained about what is going on in Berbice. It's because those policemen in Berbice, they have been stationed there for 2-3 years. So they know the area, they know who they can bully. Anyway, so thanks for coming through. Let's take this call.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I wish you can write about this thing, sir. I wish you can.
Yeah, I got to investigate it before I write though. Thanks for coming through. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Robert, thank you for giving me a chance to hide.
Yeah.
Hello?
Good night, Mr. Kissoon.
Good night.
I've listened a young girl give a speech today in Parliament. Dr. Akash Persaud.
Yeah.
And I want to congratulate her for that was extraordinary.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yes, I saw the speech.
Yeah, the speech was very good.
Yeah, I saw she said she supported the budget, but she pointed out areas in which there could be improvement, increase of payment for junior teachers. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
but
through.
She make the old folks on the opposition side look small. All right, thanks.
Okay, thanks for coming through. Bye-bye.
This guy been trying for the... Hey, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Yes.
Hey, this is Renard Gildarie show.
Yes, it is.
I would like to have a conversation with Mr. Gildarie, but you gotta get in
What's that? What?
I would like to have a conversation with Mr. Freddie Kissoon.
You're speaking to Mr. Kissoon.
Oh, Mr. Kissoon, I would like to have a complaint against the bank now. Where they send their money, laundering letter to me.
They sent a money laundering letter to you?
Yes, that
Well, hold on. That's a very serious thing. You got to go to a lawyer right away.
Yeah.
Please listen to me. They sent
Turn down the volume on your device, please.
to fill out a form for them concerning money laundering.
It's not going to charge me for money.
They said no. They sent your form to fill out. Okay.
No, I just got a couple dollars in the bank. Where am I laundering money at?
That's look. Take my number. What's the name of the bank?
Republic Bank, who's it called?
Okay. I wrote in my daily column in the Chronicle. I wrote about what the bank was doing on Wednesday. I wrote about it on Thursday. I got a response in which the Bank of Guyana has sent a circular in 2023 as to how to deal with small savers. Take my number down and give me a call tomorrow. My number is 614-5937. Because we have a time limit on these calls, I can't engage you for 5, 6, 7 minutes. Take my number, give me a call, and I will call the manager of the Republic Bank and read out the circular to him. You have to explain everything to me.
Just 1 second.
Yeah, quick.
If I go and withdraw my money from the bank, can they stop me?
They can't stop you from withdrawing your money from the bank, no. Take my phone number, call me and remind me that you
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. There's a guy there's an overseas number has been called. Let me try calling him.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening. This is the Gildarie Freddie Kissoon show. We see you've been calling, so I called you back.
Yeah, so I've been listening about everybody complaining about the police, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that the police are not the problem. I think there's more to it because if people know their rights, then there'll be no reason for police to be harassing people. One of the big problems that we have is that people are buying their driver's license. So they're contributing to the problem. Then another thing, when you get pulled over, I heard a guy talk earlier that people are talking about the cops holding back their documents or whatever, which is not right.
They cannot do that. They cannot do that. Yeah, go on.
I lost my train of thought, but that's just my contribution. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Mm-hmm. Good evening. Hello? Hello there. Lost that call.
Freddie, the police seems to be a major issue.
No, on this calling program, the police are always a major issue. Do you know what I did today at 12 o'clock? I had to go to Kitty Police Station because a lady complained to me. Mm-hmm. There was an accident at Bar on Alexander Street. And the police just came and took the woman to the station. Did no measurement, didn't ask the business place. Anyway, look, Friday night is to call her, so.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, Freddie and Akash.
Hey, good evening.
It seems that the Achilles heel of the PDP is always the police. They're corrupt. And basically, there's a simple solution to catch corrupt police. As regular record, policemen have to wear a camera and recording device. They should have all these policemen.
I think that is coming, you know.
Yeah.
I think with all money coming in every year, I think there's going to be demand that these police, once they stop, they have body camera.
That's a very good suggestion, though. Very good suggestion. I like that. I mean, as I said,
that is going to come. That is going to come. It's going to way to root out corruption, and I believe one of the other way of rooting out corruption, you have to circulate these cops. When a traffic cop spent 3 months in Georgetown, put him in Barbies for 3 months, then put him in West Coast for 3 months. He doesn't get to know the business people. He doesn't get to know the low-life people that drive private car hire. So it helps in that it doesn't build a incestuous relation. Anyway, thanks for coming through. So is that all?
No, So there's another suggestion with speeding drivers. What they should have is electronic ticketing. A lot of these crazy people in New York, they have a lot of these electronic ticketing all over the place. And basically, a lot of them, they end up with tickets and hefty fines. And that would be a good way of stop speeding. You may not stop accidents, but at least it will be a deterrent. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Good suggestions.
They should also change the Minister of Home Affairs. I don't think he's effective. I think British could agree with me on that. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
When these programs started 20 months ago, these calling programs, it's always the police. And the thing is, I have seen Akash, midday, I was at Kitty Police Station. How you could accident and the woman had a child with her anyway. Good evening.
Hey, good evening to you. My suggestion is that I believe that the government is doing an excellent job. The problem is that I believe that the president had appointed some folks, and I think the reason for the appointment is because during over a period of time they were excellent supporters of the PPP, but some of these people are creating a problem for the government because they are not adequate situated to do the job. And one of the big problem is not with the police, is not only with the low-level police, but the discipline has to start from the top. And I can tell you, just the other day, I was going to Esquibocos, and on the road to Parica, the minister who's supposed to be in charge of this police is in a vehicle. There's a part before you meet to Parica, it's 40 kilometers. They had to be doing over 80 kilometers, and there's a long line whereby they had to cross on the other side to go down. Now, when I was coming back from Charity, the same vehicle with the minister inside, just past Anna Regina, is the same behavior which was exhibited. Now, if this guy is in charge of the police and he has no regards for people, how can the ordinary policeman have any discipline? The problem is that the leadership has to come up from top. And with due respect to this gentleman, in my opinion, I have said a long time ago, he's not capable, he doesn't have the willpower, he doesn't have the knowledge to be in that position. And this government should remember what happened the last time when they were in power. They took the ordinary people for granted, and we saw exactly what happened when the election time came. And if they're not careful again, it's the same problem is going to be happening. There's too much of corruption, and, people who've been living abroad for some time and who have done fairly well does not want to come back to Guyana. And the reason why they do not want to come back is because of the amount of corruption. Now, if you're living in Guyana all the time, most people say, well, we don't really care if they come back or not. But those people who want to return to Guyana for whatever reason, they should have a right to return to Guyana in peace and tranquility because the country also belongs to them. And the problem I see is that if you live in Guyana all the time, you take a lot of things for granted, like these crimes and all these bad behaviors and no character. There's no decency. I mean, I'm often wondering, these guys, when you drive in, they're such in a hurry. I mean, they will break their neck just to get in front of you. You have people, let's be serious, you have people who run in $1 billion corporation who is not in a hurry like these guys are. And I think that's the problem. I have just recently a fishing boat, which in the Northwest District was held by ransom. They want $25,000 US for this. They told me it's the Venezuelan Coast Guard pulled the boat over. I contacted the Venezuelan embassy, I ended up contacting CID and some senior people, and one very, very smart gentleman in the CID came down and met me at the Coast Guard there by Bank Stage and told me to go down there and meet the chief of the Coast Guard. And after we have discussed it, the gentleman from CID said to me, this is an inside job. When we found out what happened, is the police up there set up with the captain to try to basically rob me, looking for $25,000 US. And that's the police. And we found out who the police is, and now that same police is doing the river job by Meadowbank there. And everybody knew who he is, and he's still on the job. So I don't think it's the police is the problem. I think it's the senior people should be able to administrate the proper discipline. And if you don't have a leader who can do that, like the person in the who is in charge of the police in the ministry, you got to get somebody else.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye.
Well,
not a nice story. But anyway, if you just join us, some people may join late. The guest co-host is Akash Persaud. In case you missed it, Akash, just tune into the beginning of the program. Akash is a media practitioner. He was the marketing manager for the Guyana Chronicle, and he did a series of interviews for the Guyana Chronicle called Personality Profile. And one of the best interviews in that series was with the iconic Guyanese cricketer Roger Harper. And he also acted in a movie by Mahadio Shivraj, Protection Game, starring Ron Robinson. So, Carlos, let's see what time we have. We have 13 minutes more. So, Carlos, this is the call coming in.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. The caller, the second to last caller, or another caller said it's not a police problem, it's people who buy license. So now, if a man wants to buy license, who's selling it?
Anything else? Yeah, we're listening. Yeah.
So who is selling the license? If me go and buy a license, who me gotta go to for buy it? Is that the police? So the police know that it's wrong thing. The police know it's wrong thing. But what they're looking for, they are looking for money. That is all they are looking for. They will create all the problem. 80%. You know, if the police walk around, and I wasn't at home, and the neighbors and tell me the police come around to find out what's the problem in the community, I would have tell all the police them, you are the problem. Because you all know all the wrong people who do the wrong things, but you all don't do them nothing. You just go collect money from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for your contribution, man.
Good, thanks.
This program this evening.
Freddie, you know, when this program started 20 months ago, I was right here when this program started. I created the first flyer. I still do. But when the program started...
Oh, yeah, you worked here as the general manager of this
I worked
company.
right at TBN here, you know, remember. I remember the first day when Mr. Rodriguez came in, the Guyanese critic came in with you and did that for a little run. And we knew that the show was going to be a hit from since then. And you guys, you and Gil Leonard has really you've got some amazing and in some ways some strange guests and all of that on this program, but it has really brought something to the Guyanese people. And I think what you guys are doing here is amazing.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. Our co-host is Akash Persaud.
Yeah.
You have any question for him?
No, it's a general something that is bothering me.
Yeah, sure.
Calling from Cariveton. My brother has attained the age of old age pension in October last year.
65, yeah.
However, in August, he would have applied. Until today, he cannot have his money.
Oh, my goodness.
In December, they said, okay, they're finished with him. Well, my brother resides overseas. And so I'm conducting his business here. So his money has to be paid through the bank. All of that was done. When I went to the local office here in Cariveton, they said they're finished with him. It's just to make the deposit. Now when I'm going to the office, they're telling me the voucher is yet to be signed. Mr. Kissoon, this is unacceptable.
Completely.
This is
completely unacceptable. Madam, I bear my bosom to you. I don't have the answers. We've been doing this for 20 months, and some of the things people say, just some of the things that happen to people, they do not happen in the real world. I confess to you, I don't have the answers. Some of these things just should not happen and do not happen in the real world. A man reached 65, the papers are done, and that's a drop in the ocean in terms of where Guyana is going with its oil economy. When we started this program, I didn't want to do these call-ins. I want to go home to my wife this evening and look at a movie. I didn't want to do these call-ins because at my age and all that I've contributed to Guyana, I think I need now to be with my pet and my wife. I married my wife for 45 years, and I hardly had time with the first 20, 30 years in the marriage because of my politics. Some of these things just don't make sense. I've been listening to these calls for 20 months, and some of these things just don't make sense. Like the man with his 2 daughters. One daughter getting her disability pension, another one getting. A guy for 14 years can't get water in her stelling, and then they bill a professional scheme for young professionals, and they get in water. Why you can't give the village the scheme that was there 14 years ago? Madam, I don't have the answer, but I stuck with these calls on a Friday evening because people want to vent the wrongs and the aggravations and the grievances that have been done to them.
My point, Mr. Kissoon, is that we willingly pay the NIS. It has been deducted from our salary. Time for you to have your benefit. Why is it prolonging? Why aren't they paying you promptly? All the documents they ask you for has been submitted.
It's NIS or it's senior citizen pension?
NIS.
No, NIS pension begins at 60, not 65.
Yeah, 60. I said my brother attained the age of pension, old age pension.
Madam, NIS has been in the news all the time. Yeah. I have read where they were retreats with the minister.
Let's hope that the people in authority are watching us and hearing this.
What you need to do, I think the government need to have a NIS department in which, in the government of Guyana, you need to have a NIS complaint desk, and these complaints are filtered steady every week to the NIS. I don't have the solution. I don't know why in a small country like this in Berbice, what's the population of Berbice that they can't give the man his pension?
Mr. Kissoon, at the local office, they gave me a WhatsApp number.
Yeah.
All they said to me, WhatsApp, and you would get a reply. I WhatsApp since yesterday. All day today I'm checking, there is no reply. I called twice, no answer.
I wish there is. Anyway, madam, look, thanks for coming through. You have my sympathy. Please stay in touch. You can call the program next Friday. Let's take this other call, madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night.
Yes, good evening.
This is the Freddie Kissoon show.
Yes, it is.
What, is it on live?
Yes, you are.
Okay. No, I just came like I know if you can take me off my life, I just don't want to say something.
But call back after the show then.
Yes, thank you. Good, bye.
Hello?
Very good evening.
Yes? Yes, go ahead, sir. Time is going. You only got...
Yeah, I know. Freddie, I've been following you since Carter Alexander days.
Oh, Lord, that's a long, long time ago. You're a dinosaur like me. I hope you're not as old as me. Father Morrison. Father Morrison is one of my heroes. The man who edited that newspaper.
I know that. I've been following it. I've been in the fight.
Yeah, he taught me a lot about journalism. There aren't many editors like him.
They don't make them like them anymore.
Yes, sir. What is it? What's on your mind or on your soul?
There's something that's bothering me. And I want to know, why is it people have to call you guys, they call this other guy, Mr. Critic, before they can have something done towards any problem they're facing. What is happening with all the government agencies, whatever they have? Why can an ordinary man walk into an office and have some help?
Because you want the answer to that?
Yes, sir.
The answer to that is because Guyana maybe is a country that the world cannot understand. I'm not a believer, so I can't say God will not understand. But if you're a believer, some of the stories we've been hearing, so I go to the supermarkets, the municipal markets. I go all over this place and people meet me and tell me things that I don't know how these things can happen. They're so simple, so inconsequential that they should not happen. I mean, the people, how you could have a police taking a man's expired document and keep his motorcycle for 2 weeks. When an expired document, if you drive with it, you get a ticket. Driving with an expired document is a ticketable offense. I don't know. Anyway, sir, thanks for coming through. Let's take this other call because time is going.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Freddie?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good evening, Freddie, and good evening to your co-host.
Akash Persaud.
Good evening.
Yes.
You'll see more of him.
Okay. I listened to a caller who was talking about corruption and the police and so on. Now, no one in the right frame of mind can ever defend corruption or make apologies for those who are involved in corrupt practices. But corruption is a universal social phenomenon. It's how you deal with it, right? The mechanisms you implement to deal with it and pull in corrupt persons and officials. The Chinese deal with corrupt bureaucrats and officials. They execute them once it's serious, very serious. Good? Now, you know what I'm weary with? Guyanese who like to bash Guyana. No one can. Yes, there's corruption in this country, right? The police is involved in corruption, but citizens have a right, a moral right to resist and stand up and do not condone that type of thing. You can't accuse the police of being corrupt when you yourself are involved in corrupt transactions. We have to be ethically consistent. Good? But I am weary of those Guyanese who are so hypocritical that they bash Guyana for corruption and they live in Western countries that are very corrupt and have corrupt practices and they see it. But they're silent about the corrupt practices in the countries that they live in, those Western countries. Good? But they bash third world countries. So corruption is synonymous with the third world countries. But what about corruption in the United States? I don't know if you can recall when Wallace, the well-known journalist, what's his first name? Wallace, he covered the Vietnam War and all that. He had Louis Farrakhan, in an interview, and he was referring to Nigeria as the most corrupt country on the face of the earth. And Farrakhan said, no, Mr. Wallace. The most corrupt country on the face of the earth, I can name it for you. And he said, which country? And Farrakhan said, the U.S.
Well, before you go on, one of the stars in world politics today, I would think she's one of the stars, is the Prime Minister of Barbados. And her response in an interview was viral when she was being interviewed about corruption. She said, why you guys always talking about corruption in the third world? What about, I mean, the Iraqi war, the United States war in Iraq produced, I mean, those contractors were ripping off the United States. Those contractors were ripping off the United States. But anyway, so look, the operator say time has come. I think we could take one more call and then that's it. One more call. If there's no other call,
it's 10 here.
It's 10 o'clock. Our operators have to go. Our co-host was Akash Persaud. You will hear more of Akash Persaud. If you want to know a little bit more of him, just let me take this one call and then we gotta go. You've got 30 seconds. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you. Well, in the 30 seconds, I will say corruption in my country, in Guyana, is of concern because this is a country I have to benefit from. Corruption in America don't give me money. I don't get money from America. And Guyanese benefit from America sometimes more than they benefit from Guyana. So the Guyana corruption is of concern to all Guyanese because this is where we get our resources from. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Yeah.
We gotta go. Our co-host was Akash Persaud. If you tune in later, you want to know a little bit about the media history of Akash, it is in the beginning of the program in which we highlighted his media background. Akash, thanks for co-hosting
Freddie,
the program.
it's not about the history. It's about things that we're going to be doing in the future, and we are going to create some more history with media. Me and you and I have a synergy when it comes to certain things, and I did enjoy being here tonight. I know you've been asking me to come for a little while now. I will try to make myself a little bit more available.
Yeah, we'll have you back.
Thank you so much.
We don't want to keep our operator too late. These guys have to go home. It's after 10. My Mango Pel to say we're 2 minutes over time. Don't let's violate people's right to earn a living. The operators have to go home. It's been nice being with you for the Friday evening call-in program. Right next to me is our co-host, Akash Persaud. If you did not know about Akash Persaud, we featured a little bit about his history at the beginning of this program. So go to YouTube and you will see a little bit more with him. Thanks for being with us. We will definitely see you on Monday. We hope Gildarie gets better with whatever he has, unfortunately. But he's on the road to recovery. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you Monday. We'll see you Wednesday. We'll see you Friday. The show must go on. Catch you later on behalf of Akash Persaud. Bye-bye.
Bye.